It appears as though the review embargo has lifted. We are finally starting to get clips of gameplay, and bro, it is rough out here. Holy. I got a few things that made me just absolutely belly laugh after being completely and totally shocked that this is a game that is coming out in 2025. A game that got delayed not once, not twice, but thrice for further polish, and this is the best that you can do? Holy crap. Like, this is a game, right? Like, this is a game that's going to define the future of Ubisoft. At one point in time, like a pillar of the gaming industry. And now you're doing this where you're settling for a Metacritic score of 82. Now, I remember when Assassin's Creed was first coming up, when they were establishing themselves as a franchise, they would perennially, okay, across the entire access media landscape, they would be getting 8s and 9s for all of their entries. I think maybe like Assassin's Creed 2 probably caught a couple of 10s out there, but for the most part, like all of the games that were coming out, and yeah, they were yearly releases, and people were saying, oh, that's just way too much, but every time that they came out, like until Black Flag rolled around, they were of fairly high quality, okay? And I even know that, outside of the technical problems with Unity, which apparently now is just so much better, but I guess I could probably go back to it because I think I got that in like some Humble Bundle or some shit like that. But Syndicate, yeah, that was the point in time where I think, people were really tired with the original Assassin's Creed formula. They shelved it for a minute and then they redid everything to come back with, what was it, Origins? And now they're starting to just kind of run empty on the new rebooted stuff. And from the gameplay that we're seeing with Shadows, they're trying to go in this whole Dark Souls, Souls-like-esque gameplay, which, I don't know, man, it looks like it's trying to be a master of all, or a jack of all spades. Like, what's a proper term for that one? Anyways, it's just really coming up and being the Joker out of the deck, if we're being completely honest. But yeah, an 82 from the critic class. It's going to be interesting to see once people start to get their hands on this, which I think, depending on how much money you want to plop down for this garbage, early access, I think, starts later today, and if not today, tomorrow we'll be able to see, some hands-on gameplay of people streaming it. But as it sits right now, that 82, I think it's liable to be going a much lower than that. Maybe not in the critic class because they're just singing this game's praises, man. You got CG Magazine, you got Carol Quintain, different mediums where you have the 18 people. I think that's probably just likely to stay right there. On Xbox playing it, giving it an aggregated score of 87. On the PS5, you got an 82, and then on PC you got a 78. That's kind of interesting because I think it's definitely going to be the place where we can go ahead and track the performance of this game the most appropriately, because those Steam numbers for the early access, that's going to be fun. But more on that very likely on Friday, because hey man, it's just like Snow White, man. We've been waiting for this moment for a very long time, and the fact that it's here, I'm not surprised with a lot of the access media reception, but I'm very eagerly anticipating hearing more of the crap that's really in this game, because we know the controversy's over the top of it, but now that we can finally experience it, really immerse ourselves in Ubisoft's just fundamental lack of understanding of a feudal Japan. From what we're seeing right now, for as much as people are upset about the black, not samurai, I think the writing and the acting and the gameplay, that's really going to be the long-lasting sting. It's the same thing with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, okay? The disrespect to Kevin Conroy's final performance as Batman, that got people in the door, and then they started to see the gameplay and the offensively obnoxious UI, and then of course just the character writing and the dialogue was just the drizzling shit. And you can go ahead and extrapolate that over to Dragon Age of the Veilguard for, the non-binary LGBTQ plus AAIRP, all of that garbage that was in over the top of it, from the director's suites and all the way that trickled down into the dialogue of the gameplay. That got people in the door, but then, of course, it's a game after all, and when people got a look at it and it's like, wow, this is really not good at all. I think that's what we're likely to see here. But according to IGN, it's an 8. It's great, guys. By sharpening the edges of its existing systems, Assassin's Creed Shadows creates one of the best versions of the open world style it's been honing for the last decade. Oh, so it's just basically the same old recycled shit that you've come to expect from Ubisoft. But hey, guys, they've rounded off some edges. So, okay, so it's what? Unremarkable slop? Is that the best thing that you can say about it? But also, okay, note that this has an 8. It's apparently one standard deviation below the quality of Dragon Age the Veilguard. And we've also heard other reviews that are out there right now saying that, hey guys, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a stop me if you've heard this before, a return to form for the franchise. Yep, it's gonna be fun to watch this over the next couple of weeks, because what we're seeing right now is the exact same tactics we have seen for a very long time. Because you got Pirate Nation with a screenshot right here where it's, yeah, I think I see a pattern that's going on here, because you got the Gamer, Hip Hop Wired, The Escapist, Windows Central, all saying the same thing. Assassin's Creed Shadows Review, a feudal return to form. There it is. Assassin's Creed Shadows Review, a return to classic form. Assassin's Creed Shadows is an exciting return to form. I think Assassin's Creed may truly be a return to form. Just like how Rachel Zegler is being hailed as being stunning and how the film is actually exceeding expectations, we're seeing the talking points handed out to the shills being gobbled up by all of those Disney shills. We're seeing the exact same thing in an even more corrupt industry with the Access Gaming media. Color me surprised. But things that actually took me for surprise were snippets of gameplay from this, and bro, you are not ready. If you haven't seen this before, and I couldn't stop that, and if you've even surprised Gundam, okay, if you've surprised it's a Gundam, you know you're doing something spectacularly hilarious. Yeah. And is learning the law, who I've been critical of for several reasons, but shout out to him, because you don't have to agree with everything everybody says, but in general, like, even when I was taking an adversarial position, I think it was in regards probably to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because nobody gets the criticism of that game correct, but this time around, I mean, it's so funny, right? Because you want to take pot shots at that game and call it woke crap, but then on the same side of the aisle, you can go ahead and, oh yeah, here's actual proof that Assassin's Creed Shadows is bad. It's like, oh funny, why don't you apply a similar standard across all of your critiques? But anyways, going back to this bad game, I was awaiting quietly in the dark, expecting to see some truly horrible voice acting from Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't know, man, because here's the thing, like, when it comes to these games recently with just the atrocious dialogue and all of the writing is bad, normally the acting, well, it can be insufferable, because my mind just immediately goes back to how awful Harley Quinn sounded in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. She was consistent, and it was a congruent performance for the script that she was provided. I'm not going to say it was good, but it wasn't bad. It was appropriate for the verbiage that she was required to speak. And same with the goofy little elf girl from Dragon Age the Veilguard. Like, it's a terrible character, okay? Like, her voice was super annoying, but it was well performed for what was required. This right here, words escape me for how atrocious this is, okay? Like, I'm not poisoning the well on this one, and no, I'm not hyping it up. You will be shocked if you have not heard this before. And we need to get the full experience on this bitch, so we're going full screen on this motherfucker, because it is, holy shit, grab your asses here, folks.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too.
Hey, hey guys, listen, it sounds like little Nicky if he was an Asian guy that's trying to make some mushrooms. Hey guys, do you like the shiitake mushrooms? We grow mushrooms over here.
This is from the studio that brought you the first AAA game. They had the audacity to put out a game with voice acting like this. Okay, but that's just an NPC or some shit like that. Just wait until Naoe chimes in here for a second, because guess what? It's not much better.
Shiitake?
Mushrooms. The smell of dirt, grass, and rain.
That's one of your lead protagonists, okay? That's one of your dual protagonists, and they suck just about, not quite as bad as old Broken Jaw McGillicuddy over there, because that is just next level cringe. Like, the first time I heard that, okay, I was shocked. I thought that had to be dubbed over. This has to be a meme right now, but nope. I've seen, I did a little bit of research on a couple of other gameplays, long plays that were out there right now, and that's very much the thing. I can't wait until people actually get their hands on more copies of this game, okay? When that early access period starts, I want to see how bad this truly is, because now that we've been primed with this shit, I mean, what else is on the docket? Well, how about some historical besmirchment and stupidity? Because you have Oda Nobunaga here, okay, after he was done. I'm not entirely sure the full context of this, but I think he's sitting around and discussing a couple of things as well. This is in the early part of the game. From what I've heard so far, is if you played Assassin's Creed 3, you know that there's a fairly lengthy introduction sequel, without spoiling anything, because I think Assassin's Creed 3 is probably the lowest I would rank any of the games that I originally played from the, the first wave of Assassin's Creed games, but it's not terrible, but I'd really have to refresh my memory on that one. But all I remember is, that extensive, I beat the game and I can't remember the rest of it, but just that extensive introduction sequence that took several hours. This game apparently takes you not 1, not 2, but 7 hours to complete the intro. And guess what? That's actually the best part of the game, because the rest of it, it's written by a pack of drooling retards in crayon. So yeah, it's going to be something once people get through that first session of gameplay when they're just gobsmacked and playing things up, going, oh my god, you see that? It was so cool. That'd be the shill side of things. Then, of course, people uproariously laughing when they really start to delve into the depths of the voice acting and the dialogue, which you're going to be able to see right here, okay? Because we're dealing with some very unintelligent people. So yes, this is Nobunaga, having a conversation with a couple of people before they take off, and well, it's 40 seconds. It feels like 40 years, but just hang on this one, okay? Because it's worth your time. Okay, and because I know what's going on right here, and there's a good chance that I'm not going to be able to circle back around to this criticism, he's looking around for the diegetic music that's actually playing in the scene right now, okay? So the person that's going to come forward and reveal themselves from very, very well-placed cover, spoilers, it's not, is the person that's actually playing the flute right now, okay? I wish I was joking. This is Zack Snyder Rebel Moon Part 2 type shit, where he has the in-house orchestra for the Julius Caesar scene in space. Like, this is next level stupidity, okay? But it's even more offensive than a mush-mouth mushroom seller. This is Nobunaga, okay? Like, they're drawn on historical inspiration, but you're gonna have to wait until tomorrow to see just how well Ubisoft respects this legacy, but we could just simply see how much of a dribbling retard they made him. Hey, Nani? Where did you come from? You're just standing there in the partial shadows, huh? And by the way, this is a PS5 ray tracing enabled game. That's the quality of facial animations that you have right there. Okay, this is direly, just has dire graphics that could probably run on a PS3. Like, what are we doing out here? Okay, like my video cards that I have in my PC, which desperately need an update. Okay, like I'm running SLI 2080 Ti's. Okay, that might mean nothing to some people, but it means things to other people. And at the time that I bought them, that was the high end of performance. And well, I can still crank out some very good quality graphics on some spectacular new games. And every time that I see somebody play a new game, I am totally underwhelmed by why exactly you'd be slapping down 4 digits in order to get a new graphics card, because shit like this is just like, it's real bad. And I understand that's probably, crushed because of Twitter videos and, just the processing to put it up on YouTube or where the initial source clip is. But in seeing the other gameplay, like, I am totally and completely underwhelmed. But the stupidity is not quite through yet.
Who are you?
See, you thought I was joking. You thought I was joking right there, okay? Like, she's actually playing the, trying to play the Wind Song from Ocarina of Time right there. But in the house music to announce herself, okay? But yeah, I say herself because that's what you would think, But sometimes, and especially in this game, looks can be deceiving. Like I said, more on this tomorrow. But pay attention to the, well, let your ears do the listening. Whoa.
I am eager.
I am eager. Oh, bro, what are we doing? This shit is so bad. I am eager. I am Abby. I'm not buying. This is going to be so bad, and I can't wait to cover more of it. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.